What's going on, fam? Welcome back to Ask Papa Swolio. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, if you want your question featured right here on the show, make sure to drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and I am happy and eager to share your question in an upcoming episode. Let's get into today's question. This one is from Ori Kakiro on Instagram stories, and the question is, can you get gains, Papa Swolio, on the OMAD diet? Now, if you don't know what OMAD means, it means 1 meal a day. That's right, 1 meal a day. Can you get gains? Well, that's a good question, and the answer is yes and fuck no. And I'm gonna really get into why both of these can be appropriate and why both of these can apply, because they both can depending on your situation. So if you are brand new to the gym, you have a ton of fat to lose, you're brand new, you're eating 1 meal a day, you're in a caloric deficit, but you have a lot of extra energy on your body, you could build muscle because you got new stresses coming on from the training, you have a lot of extra body fat, so your body has sources and resources for fuel in which it can satisfy body processes, the hormones, the endocrine system, and just, you know, you can live and you can use all the other foods that you eat with your 1 meal in terms of rebuilding muscle tissue and bone density and all these types of things, okay? And of course, if you're eating 1 meal a day, you got to make sure that shit is fucking on point. You can't be eating like slacking with your 1 meal a day. You have to make sure you're getting all your nutrients. The problem with 1 meal a day, if you don't have a ton of weight to lose and you're not maintaining, if you're trying to make gains, because that's specifically your question. So to your point and to your question, it's not optimal. So the answer is yes, but I mean, come on, are you really eating 1 meal a day? If you're going to try to eat two, let's say, I mean, how many people are going to gain on 2,000 calories? You're going to have to be eating 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day, at least, in order to make gains. Really, pretty much anyone, unless you're like a teenager, especially if you're a teenager, metabolism through the fucking roof. So everyone's different, but whatever it is, you're going to have to eat a lot of food. And if you're eating calorie-dense food, like for me, if I'm eating grass-fed beef and sweet potatoes, man, like even if I eat a full, let's say, a 16 or 15 ounce ribeye steak by myself, that's what, maybe about butter, grass-fed butter all over and Celtic sea salt, which is no calories on the sea salt, but maybe it's like 1,200 calories, 1,300. Okay, some sweet potatoes, like a sweet potato, 300 calories. That's 1,600 calories. I'm not bulking. That's not bulking season. I'm going to be stuffed silly. So I'm literally force feeding myself the rest of, I mean, in one more meal, how much else can I possibly stuff, right? How much else can I possibly stuff in my face hole in one meal? So it's not ideal. So think about, let's say 3,000 calories, okay? What's more manageable? Because if you're eating 1 meal a day, it's hard to get all those calories in. I mean, is your body going to be able to process all that? How are you going to feel? I mean, like, are you going to try to work out on that? Like, you just can't really function that well. If you're eating really big meals during the day, it's hard to really have the energy. When you eat really big, you just get really sluggish. You have to digest. You got all that food in your stomach. You might get groggy. I like running lean. I don't like eating until later in the day. And I wouldn't say I have 1 meal a day. I kind of eat for a few hours. You know, sometimes I snack, sometimes I have a couple, like some fruit and stuff during the day, but I really don't eat my food until the nighttime. And right now, the nighttime is the right time. I pumped and I'm going to go and I'm going to have my steak and sweet potatoes and stuff like that. So I kind of eat one time a day, but it's really like 2, 3, 4 hours. So I just kind of do a longer intermittent fast. And sometimes I'll have things like bulletproof coffee, or I'll have like, you know, grass-fed butter, MCT oil. So I'm getting calories. So I'm not really completely intermittent fasting. Maybe it's protein fasting, or maybe it's just really carb fasting. So that's neither here nor there. Everyone's got their own flow. But in order to make gains, you need a caloric surplus. Okay, really you do. And you need to be giving yourself the opportunity to get those calories in. And if you're not giving yourself a lot of opportunities, you got to eat them all in one spot. So if you have, let's say, 3,000 calories to bulk, and you're eating, let's say, 6 times a day, you get 500 calories a meal. That's doable. That's like you get a piece of fish or a piece of chicken, grass-fed beef, some eggs, and you can get your calories in. But that's 6 times a day. It sounds like a lot. Oh my God, 6 times a day. But if you're eating smaller meals, you'll get hungry every 3 or 4 hours, or 2 to 3 hours. I've done it. I've eaten and then set a watch for 2 hours, and you get hungry every 2 hours. I used to eat when my watch went off, whether I was hungry or not. I just ate like a machine, and it fucking works. And I bulked. It's not pretty, It's not glamorous. It's not entertaining. It's fucking work, which is why most people don't make gains. Most people don't make progress because they think that it's the training and they can eat till they're satisfied. If you want to make gains, you're eating till you're full and then you're stuffing it in. You're eating extra. You're force feeding good quality food, unless you want a dirty bulk and you're going to look like a fat fuck. So that's the truth. People don't get results because they don't work hard enough. They don't train hard enough in the gym and they don't work hard enough in the kitchen. They're not diligent and disciplined enough to actually eat the amount of food and force it in. It's harder than the training. The lifting is the fucking easy part. I swear to God. The lifting is the easy part. You want to make gains, you got to be doing that. Oh, and by the way, that's not, when you feel like it. You don't just bulk up and eat 3,000 calories when you feel like it. You eat it every fucking day because it's time to fucking eat. How's that? It's time to eat. No, I'm full. So zero fucks given. It's time to eat, bro. Are you going to do it? That's the real question. It's time to fucking eat. Are you going to eat? Usually people stop when they're full. Yeah, the body wants to maintain. It doesn't have to do any work. It doesn't have to grow tissue. It doesn't have to lose. It doesn't have to change composition. Your body wants to maintain. That's why you get full hormonal balance. The endocrine system's like, cool, we're chill. We can hover here. We got what we need. We're satisfied. We can save extra food for later because we have to go hunting. This is like the natural versus our society where we just use our thumb and get fucking calories. Right? So when you're full, no, you have to eat that other sweet potato. Come on, think about real food. You Bish, watching. Think about the last time you had a meal. We're talking real food. And you're full, like you're fucking full. No joke, you're full. And you look and you see a sweet potato and you know, shit, I gotta fucking eat that sweet potato, and you're stuffed. Good fucking luck. I remember bulking. I would be eating a sweet potato. I'd be swallowing it, like just the whole thing. And I would, a couple times I had to hold my mouth shut because I was gonna throw up. Yeah, it's gross. It can be gross. And I'm not saying that but sometimes you feel like puking because you're just eating all the time. Like that's why I started cutting down. That's why I didn't like to maintain. It is hard. It's hard to eat that much. It's exhausting and it's very taxing on the digestive system. It's very taxing. It's expensive and it's also taxing and exhausting. I prefer more quality food and I prefer different types of training. I don't want to be fucking 300 pounds. I don't want to be eating all the time. It's just exhausting. For me, I like doing more of like an intermittent fast, eating later in the day. So maybe Ori Kakiro, maybe OMAD is not for you. You don't have to follow an acronym to get amazing results. You can just do a time-restricted eating window and you can just eat maybe from 6 to 10 or from 4 to 8 or whatever the fuck it is. You don't have to do one meal. You could do 2 smaller meals. You could do 2,000 calorie meals in the evening. You could just eat for a few hours and just kind of eat X amount of food within this time frame. I mean, it's a much more maintainable and sustainable, but the real bottom line when it comes to nutrition, and of course the elimination diet that I always talk about, you can Google all that stuff that I talk about in the elimination diet. Check out the Daily Swole podcast right here on the channel. You could also learn more about the 7 pillars of Swolenormous. Ori Kakiro, you can go, links in the description for swolenormousx.com. You could download the 7 pillars. It'll go over a lot of these nutritional principles I talk about here on Ask Papa Swolio and on the Daily Swole podcast. So swolenormousx.com. The link is in the description again down below. But that is like when you're eating the right foods, when you're making the right decisions, it changes the game. It changes the game when you're looking at food quality. And the methodology in which you execute your nutrition, if it's sustainable, that's going to be the better answer. If you're forcing yourself into a box, that's when people start talking about diet culture and restriction. It's because they're not fundamentally eating the right foods for their body. If you're eating the right foods for your body, you're going to love the way they taste. They're going to feel great. You're going to feel awesome. And you're not going to want to eat the shit that makes you feel nauseous, bloated, and shit your fucking brains out. Like, why would you want to cause yourself pain? Humans, we are like predisposed to avoiding pain. Why would you want to be on the shitter all night? Do you want to have rampant diarrhea? You don't think about that like, I think I'll have some diarrhea with some bloating tonight. Said no one ever. No one wants that, but we want the drugs, right? We want the drugs, we want the addiction. I'm getting off on in the weeds here, but Ori Kakiro, can you get gains? Yeah, maybe in specific situations, but if you want gains, do not do 1 meal a day. You need to fucking eat to fucking bulk. Eating is working and you got to eat hard. That's hard in the training promise me. So best wishes. Thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it. And make sure you keep an eye out for the Ask Papa Swolio stickers on my Instagram story on the Swolenormous page. And also drop your question in the comments down below right now, because here you are. You're watching this right now. Drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and I would love to feature you in an upcoming episode. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, beesh. Peace out.
We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, a demon the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king.